Okay, hello. I know you can't see me. Just hang on for a minute. I'm trying to get my camera together here. Bear with me for a minute. As soon as I can get my camera fixed, I will be on. Just hang with me for a few minutes, please. Oh, okay. I am so sorry. I was having some technical issues. The cookie man stepped away for a minute. I got to let him know. I got it fixed. Hello there. Thank you for your patience. Woo! Got me sweating. I need my fan right now. Cookie man. All right. I think he stepped outside to have a cigarette break. But anywho, welcome to another episode of Marriage Beyond the Breach. I thank you all for watching. I appreciate those of you who are here now or later. Anytime that you tune in, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your patience while I was working on some technical errors. Sometimes technology does its own thing. The cookie man is outside. I'm going to have to tell him to bring his behind back in here so that we can get started. So anywho, those of you who are on, who's here? Nicole. Thank you, Nicole. Good to see you again. Jackie, my baby sis, and Miss Ollie Hall. Thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate all of you. I don't know what's going on with the Cookie Man. I'm trying to call him. He's outside. I don't know if he took his phone with him or not. Hang on for 1 second. Let me get that Cookie Man in here. I gotta mute myself because I'm a holler, and I don't want y'all to hear me hollering. Okay, I just sent my. Oh, there he is. He scared me. He snuck up on me. Here's the Cookie Man. So, anywho, hey Valerie, good to see you on tonight. Thank you for being here. So here's the Cookie Man, and I know he hasn't been here for a few weeks. It's been, as the kids would say, it's been a minute since you've been on with me, right, Cookie Man? Now, why you gonna give me that stink face?
Because you got mad at me because the camera went out. I didn't do it. She want to blame me.
I didn't blame him,
yes,
y'all. Here's the deal.
She got mad at me. I didn't touch it.
Here's the deal. I have an external camera that's hooked up on the side to this USB thingy, okay? Because it's happened to me before. Hey, Dr. Danita. And sometimes if it's jiggled or hit in a certain way, the camera will go out. So the Cookie Man pushed my tablet up into it, and I said, "Oh shoot, the camera went out." And he said, "Oh, I didn't do it." And I said, "Yeah,
I didn't touch the external cord she's talking about. She couldn't see it from her angle. But since it went out and I moved something, of course, who gets the blame? It had to be me.
It has to be him because it wasn't me. So who else is it but him?
Stuff happens. Then she acting like the earthquake happened or something. You should have seen her face. So I got my feelings. I got mad and went outside.
Yeah.
Had me a cigarette or something.
You okay now, baby?
No.
You're going to be all right later, though, right?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm
sorry.
Kids is here. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
So
John said our shirts are corny. What? I think it's cute. He's it, she's it. It's a spin on cheese it. Y'all know cheese it's, right? But anywho, babe, what are we talking about tonight? I
thought you meant she, meaning you, the woman. She, he.
Right. You're saying she's it. You're referring to me. Says, and I'm saying he's it. I'm referring to you. So what are you talking about?
All right, whatever. Hey, y'all.
Woo!
That's what I said.
Y'all pray for a sister.
That's what she did to me.
Pray for me, y'all.
I had a nice afro when I met her.
No, he didn't. He already had a receding hairline. You know that the widow's peak all up in here. He used to walk backwards in the wind to keep the wind from blowing his hair forward, so he can't tell me about he had hair. He had some hair, but it was quickly leaving.
It knew what was happening. It was coming.
Listen, he's already going bald in his high school graduation picture, so he can't blame that on me. Right? I didn't even know you back then.
I had him.
You had he didn't have a lot, but anywho. Oh, Jackie said, "Leave you alone, girl. You're supposed to be on my side."
Jackie.
Anyway, what are we talking about tonight? You don't remember?
Sure, jealousy.
Oh, he remembers.
If you can manage it.
Right. If you can manage jealousy. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for praying for us, Sister Miss Holly. I need it. Any of y'all that are married, especially if you've been married for a long time, we need a whole lot of prayer. We need a whole lot of grace in this thing called marriage. Say excuse me.
I did say it.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
It was internal.
That's rude, Sorry. Baby. They heard you.
Better belch.
Oh, yeah, right. Especially because I got the fan on. But anyway, we're talking about jealousy tonight. So, babe, when you hear the word jealousy or you think about jealousy, what comes to mind for you?
The sleeping killer.
A sleeping killer?
Yeah, jealousy could be the sleeping killer.
Okay. I haven't heard.
Why?
I haven't heard it referred like that because
if you don't manage it, it can kill a lot of stuff. Including
your relationship.
Hello?
Yes, because jealousy, didn't it almost kill ours?
Yeah, you was a mess.
He says it's me. He said I was a mess. Yeah, I was. We're going to talk some more about that. Hey, Nene, thank you for watching. So, I kind of, when I'm talking about a subject, sometimes I like to look it up and do a little research and see what's been written about it. So one of the things that I read said that jealousy, this is how it is explained. And you all write in the chat what comes to mind when you think about jealousy. What has been your experience with jealousy? But what I read is that jealousy is a complex emotion that encompasses feelings ranging from suspicion to rage to humiliation and fear. And it says it strikes people of all ages, all genders, all races, all sexual orientations. And it is most typically aroused when a person perceives a threat to a valued relationship from a third party. And that here's the thing, the threat can be real or imagined. It doesn't have to be a real threat, because sometimes you think something's going on and it's not going on. So that is an imagined threat to the security of the relationship. Miss Ollie Hall said jealousy can cause division and misunderstanding. Absolutely. What do you have to say to that, babe?
The silent killer.
That's all you're gonna say all night is a silent
That's
killer?
all I'm gonna
Well,
say.
you got to say more than that.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, y'all. Please.
Because she got on me, Frank. You know what we're gonna do? You ain't gonna read up on the stuff and get some information. I said, no, that's your job.
That's my job.
I'm the co-pilot. I'm just gonna hit the on and off button or something like that.
Oh, whatever. But anywho, thank you for that, Miss Ollie. Jealousy can divide your family. Yes, it can. Because here's the thing. Jealousy does not only pertain to a romantic relationship, even though a lot of times, hey, Elder Gail, I got your thingy. I'm gonna send that. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Jealousy doesn't only pertain to romantic relationships, although typically when someone thinks about jealousy, that's what comes to mind. But jealousy could be in any relationship. It could be a sibling relationship, in terms of siblings vying for attention and affection of a parent. It could be in friendship, because sometimes you have a close friend and then they get close to another person, and the one in the original relationship can be jealous of that third party that enters the friendship. So what did our son say? John said, let me put this up on the screen. John said, jealousy is a normal emotion, but you lose when you let it control you, or when your partner engages in conduct that he or she knows makes you jealous and does it anyway. That's good. That's good, John. Because sometimes a person could do that. What's your thoughts on that? Someone, he's referring to one partner deliberately doing something to make the other jealous. What do you think about that?
The silent killer. No.
Boy, if you don't say something besides the silent killer, I have a slipper on underneath here. I'm gonna take off my slipper.
No, like I said, I would agree to all the things that said, because and especially when you don't talk about what the issues is or what makes you jealous, it becomes easy to lose control.
Yeah, but see, sometimes one partner tries to push the buttons of the other. When there's that level of insecurity and you do something on purpose, not accidentally, but you do something on purpose because you want to get your partner jealous. To me, I see that that's a huge red flag. That's a problem there in that relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people do that because they want the attention that they're going to get when you get upset, or they get upset. They don't know how else to get attention.
Yeah, but aren't there other ways and better ways to get your partner's attention than to just deliberately make them jealous? Because it could be a problem. I remember early in our relationship, we'd go out to parties. Frank was a loose cannon back then, okay? Boy, loved to fight. He could fight. We would go out to a party, and a guy might be saying something to me, and I try to brush him off or whatever, and he come back, and I say to myself, I got something for your behind. I go tell Frank, see that fellow over there? he was just trying to say thus and so to me. And then Frank would open up a huge can. But guess what I did? What did I do?
But see, the problem, since you knew I was a loose cannon, why'd you sick me on him?
I shouldn't have.
Right.
But we were young then. We were in our early 20s. I didn't know then what I know now. I would never do that now. But I'm just giving that as an example of behaviors that can result in a serious negative consequence.
Sure, absolutely.
Because Frank would get involved with the guy, and sometimes there'd be 2 or 3 of them against him. And what did I do? What would I do sometime?
I don't remember. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
I don't remember.
Sometimes I'd leave the party.
Yeah, you would leave the, yeah. Now here I'm in the mix. I'm getting ready to get in the mix for what's the word I'm looking for? I forget the word. It's escaping my mind. Whatever it is, but at the bottom line, yeah, I'm getting ready to get in the mix, looking around,
and I'm nowhere to be found.
Right. I'm right to fight for your honor.
That's right. And
me and my honor done left the room.
Me and my honor done got our behinds in a taxi cab and headed on out. Oh my gosh, that was awful. I should never, ever, ever have done anything like that. Oh, there's my brother-in-law. Hey, Howard. How you doing, baby?
But she would even do that because she felt I was acting a fool.
Oh, yeah.
And she would just leave me.
Sometimes I would do that, too. If he would get wild. Because sometimes if he had one drink too many, that would kind of take him right over the edge. And he start acting the fool. I'm out. Listen, my mama always taught me, always have money in your pocket to get home. We called it back in the day, we'd call it mad money. Okay. I always had me some mad money. So when I was ready to go home, I'd get my happy tail in a taxi and I'd be on my way.
You're right. That's my brother, right?
He right there. He said, hello, sis.
Hello, sis.
Because you didn't say hi to him. I said hi to him. You didn't.
But he had already spoke to you first.
No, he had written LOL. That's when I saw him. He wrote LOL. And I said hi to him. So he said, hey, sis, back. Now you say hi.
But he forgot he got a brother. I'm leaving the program. See, I'm jealous, Howard. I'm leaving.
Yeah, see? Bruh, you done made your brother jealous, but that's all right. That's all right. So is jealousy, we know it's an emotion. Correct. We know it happens to most all of us, but is it really necessary?
There you go.
All right.
I feel better, Howard.
All right. All right, Howard. You done got me out the doghouse now. Yeah, but is jealousy really necessary in a relationship?
Is it it's a necessary evil, but again, because until you learn how to navigate it, it's a human emotion. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
So to say, is it necessary?
Yeah. What do you do when it shows up? Do you suppress it? Do you act on it? Do you talk about it? What do you do?
I think all the three. You can't. You're doing yourself and your partner a disservice if you suppress it,
right?
Because the issues can continue to happen because they might not even know that they're causing those emotions with you. So to suppress it is no.
Right.
Do you act on it? What do you mean act on it? Having a conversation, acting a fool, and tearing up something.
Yeah, but you said there's something you said. The partner may not know that they are causing these emotions in you, but if the jealousy is based on something that's unfounded, is the other person really doing it?
Well, again, that's when you have that conversation. No, of course they say, well, listen, they would express, I'm not doing so. And if you perceive that I did, I apologize, but that was not my intent. Again, that's where the conversation comes in.
Exactly. So I think what it does, it can be like any other issue or conflict in a relationship. It provides an opportunity to talk and to, but see, this is where you got to be willing and open and honest and secure enough to admit to your partner, hey, I'm feeling jealous. And I'm feeling jealous because of ABC or XYZ or something that was said or something that was done. And then your partner can say, wow, you know what? I didn't realize that was happening when I did thus and so. Now,
You hope.
Well,
because sometimes the partner might feel, well, you're getting jealous for. I didn't do anything. And they get defensive.
That's defensive, yeah.
And want to keep in that position. I didn't do anything, and not willing to listen and address or change what the partner's telling that's making them jealous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your partner could become defensive, but then the question is, where's that defensiveness coming from? Sure. That could be a sign that the relationship is already unhealthy, and there's some other work that might need to be done. But sometimes jealousy is not unfounded. If there has been real trust broken in the relationship, if there's been some sort of betrayal, if there's been infidelity, yeah, you're gonna get jealous, right?
Sure.
And even after that betrayal of whatever has been dealt with and you've stayed in the relationship, there still could be times where that jealousy might rear its ugly head, right?
That's all I know.
Be quiet. Brother Maurice said, hey, Mo, said something interesting. He said, yes, we have a jealous God. So why wouldn't we be jealous? That's a great point. Because the Bible does say, God does say that he is a jealous God. And that is based on if we serve or recognize gods other than him. And again, that's why jealousy is different from envy. The difference is jealousy involves a third party. Envy involves just two people. Somebody sees something that you have and they're envious of that, or they're envious of you. They basically may want what you have. But jealousy involves someone else as a third person in the relationship. That doesn't mean that they are in the relationship. It just means that one partner or another may see that individual as a threat.
So when I hear people say I'm jealous of y'all's relationship, they mean to be saying I'm envious of it?
Most probably. Yeah. Okay. Because they see what the relationship is and they would like to have that.
Right.
So that to me speaks more of envy than it does of jealousy.
Okay.
Brother Howard said, if jealousy is not exercised and explained clearly amongst the couple, it could lead into a misunderstanding of each other. Yeah. It definitely could lead to a misunderstanding because, see, that's why I know it's cliche and I know so many people say it, but that is why communication is key. There has to be not just ongoing communication, clear communication, complete the circle. Because sometimes we think we have clearly communicated, but we've only kind of halfway done it. That means part of the circle is incomplete. So we need to always, let me rephrase that. In a healthy relationship, there should be room and space to have, you need to turn the fan off? No. Have any conversation with your partner. Don't you think?
Yeah.
There should be space and a safe space to have any conversation. Howard said, Miss Ollie said, other people can trigger your jealousy. Yeah, they can. But then we have to ask, why is this a trigger? What is it about this thing, or what is it about that person that's triggering my jealousy? For instance,
they look like someone that might have caused you some issues of jealousy, and you see them thinking, wow, look at someone, it just reminds you of someone.
Exactly. Because I know, some of you all know, I think most of the people who are on here and those of you who don't know that my husband and I have had issues with infidelity in our marriage. Okay. Both he and I. And one of the women that Frank had an affair with was a Latina woman. And there are sometimes when I see a Latina woman that kind of looks like her, it triggers me. Okay, there's some shows I won't even look at because it triggers my jealousy. Why are you looking like that? That's real.
I ain't said nothing.
But I get what you're saying, Miss Holly. People can trigger your jealousy because I've experienced it. Have you experienced it at all? With someone triggering your jealousy?
Nah. I don't know. I can't say that I recall. I don't know how jealous I've been over the last 40 some odd years. I didn't say nothing.
Oh, I'm about to.
I said
okay. Because remember, for 44 years, I've been there too. Okay. So your memory may not be top notch, but guess whose is?
Okay, so you say.
So, another thing that can lead to jealousy is that comparison thing. You're looking at somebody else. And here's the thing. There is always going to be someone who's cuter, who's prettier, who's thinner, who's shorter, who's taller, who's smarter, whatever. You name it, there's going to be someone else who exceeds beyond you in that area. So why compare yourself to that individual? We can drive ourselves crazy looking at someone else saying, wow, she's thinner than me, or she's taller than me, or she's shorter than me, or he's more buff than me.
I just thought of something.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. We won't go there.
I'll just say, he got hair. I don't have mine no more.
Yeah, but that's not the part of the body you were thinking about. But that too, you can say, the thingy thing. So yeah, that comparison, Jonathan said comparison is a thief of joy. Absolutely. And it not only steals the joy of the person who's making the comparison, but it can take the joy completely out of the relationship. Because let's say you're out with your partner and someone's passing by and you see a guy who private parts. That's right, Miss Holly. You know what we're talking about. We grown folk. We know what we're saying. And let's say Frank and we're out and he sees a guy who's really buffing. I might not be paying the guy no mind. I said might not, right?
Right. Because she'll see it and what she'll say is, oh, I like his shirt. Right. You ain't look because you saw the shirt. You saw him rippling while he walking.
No, but listen, in all honesty, I do sometimes see guys who are wearing something that I really, really admire. And sometimes I'll go up to them and ask about their outfit because I want to get it from my husband.
Yeah, right. Trigger.
That's a trigger for who? For you?
Yeah, you walk up to someone talking. I'm in the back wondering what you're talking about.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but see, how well do you know your wife? Do you know that your wife does things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that your wife sometimes a guy will pass by and I'll smell his cologne and I'll walk up to him and ask him the name of the cologne because I want to get it from my husband. Now, the guy might take it the wrong way, but my intentions are completely innocent because I want to get it for my man. Oh, Howard said he see the jealousy still there. Sleeping lightly, but it's still there. You got it, bruh. You got it. But anywho, let's say we're out somewhere, and let's say we're on vacation, we're on the beach, and this buff guy walks by, and I'm not paying him no mind, but you may look at him and compare yourself to him and think that I'm looking at him when I'm really not paying him any attention.
Okay. That's what you want to tell the audience, but I'll go with that.
Honey, I'm giving that as an example scenario. I'm not saying that that's what actually happens. Come on now. A nice suit and smell wonderful. Yeah, you got it, Miss Holly. But anywho, that could trigger Frank and result in a negative interaction between the two of us because he thinks that I'm looking at the guy. I'm sorry. My cookie man is wincing because him and Uncle Gary played at basketball yesterday. They didn't even actually play basketball. They didn't even do a full court. They were just kind of throwing the ball around and shooting it. You ain't as young as you used to be, baby. I keep trying to tell him. He's not trying to listen. Yes, that's right. That's right, Mo. You got to know where to focus your attention. Because sometimes I may see someone far off, and I say, "Oh my God, let me look over here." I'm going to look down. I'm going to look somewhere else, because if it even slightly appears that I'm looking in that guy's direction, the cookie man is going to have something to say. Right? You do.
No, honey, I think
that happens sometimes.
I just think that's the reverse.
Well, listen, I can own mine. I honestly say that, because, and that's what I want to talk about next, is that some of the root causes of jealousy, one of them is low self-esteem. And, that is not obviously, but it has been something that I have struggled with throughout the course of our relationship. I am a whole lot better at it now than I used to be. But absolutely, low self-esteem can lead to feeling jealousy, because you start comparing, and then the comparison leads to feeling even more insecure and a feeling of less than, which it has the potential of the person with the low self-esteem creating a barrier between themselves and their partner, when their partner hasn't given any indication that they are interested in that other individual. But it could be one partner's insecurity that just ignites it. And now we have, what did you call jealousy, baby?
Silent killer.
The silent killer. Yeah, like it's a heart attack, like blood pressure, right?
Just come upon you.
Oh, Howard said, if you're not smelling it from the store counter, then let it pass with the man. That is good, brother. That's good. That's good. Yeah, but you know what? I think that is something I kind of, have I gotten any better with that? Because I have a tendency to walk up and just start talking to people. Men, women, it doesn't matter. I just walk up and start talking, just starting a conversation. But what I am learning is that sometimes that can be misinterpreted.
Of course, absolutely.
It leaves room for misinterpretation. So I think I'm getting better. Am I getting better at that? What do you think?
We'll discuss it later.
No, for real.
You are.
Valerie said her personality would be flattered after 30 years of marriage for my husband to become jealous.
Is that our Sterling
if
Place,
he's
Valerie
seen
Bino?
Someone paying attention to me.
Is that the last name, Bino?
Yeah, that's Valerie
Is that
Bino.
Sterling Place, but Valerie?
That's Sterling Place.
Hey, Val!
Frank, she's been on here from the beginning. You just got.
Where
your glasses?
I got my contacts in, but I didn't see that. She was on from the start of the show.
She's been there from the very beginning.
Why she didn't say hello to me? I'm jealous of that.
I said hello to her.
It could have been another Val. I didn't know. I didn't see the name.
You are not paying attention. You are not paying attention. But she said she'd be flattered after 30 years of marriage if her husband becomes jealous if he sees someone paying attention to her. I hear you, girl. Ali Hall said, admiring someone, is that jealousy? No, I don't think, no. And I don't think it should incite jealousy in your partner if you are admiring someone. It depends on how secure the relationship is. In a secure relationship, you can admire someone of the opposite sex, the opposite gender. Absolutely.
But that admiring should look like this. Real quick, not one of those.
But that's more than admiring. But I think if I get this right, Miss Ali, let me know, because I could be wrong. But I don't think she's talking about it in that regard. I think it's in regard. Let's say, I call Idris Elba my baby daddy, right? I admire Idris Elba. I think he's handsome. I think he's sexy. I think he's all those things. But obviously, I ain't never going to meet Idris Elba. Ain't nothing ever going to happen between me and Idris Elba. And Frank is okay with that. So is that the kind of admiring that you're talking about, Miss Ali? So let me know if I'm on point with that or if you mean something else by that. I think when you're healthy, that's okay. I remember years ago when we were living in upstate New York. And we lived in an area. We lived in a predominantly Caucasian area. And that was in the early 90s. And that was before the BBL, before a lot of women were getting the BBLs and all that sort of thing. And then one day we went into Brooklyn and we were driving down Flatbush Avenue. And there's all these big West Indian women walking down the street. And I commented on it for Frank. And I told him, I said, go ahead, babe, because I know you haven't seen that in a while. So have at it. Have at it. Do you remember that?
If she really wanted me to have at it, she should have took over the driving so I could really turn my head.
So, because at that point, hey, D, good to see you. If you're admiring someone, you should discuss it with each other. Yeah, absolutely. If you're admiring someone, say, hey, isn't he handsome? Isn't she cute? Or isn't she attractive? Or blah, blah, blah. You can do that. But the impact it has, I believe, and it's just my perspective, will be determined by the health of the relationship, how secure the relationship is. In an insecure relationship, that could be dynamite. TNT could blow the whole thing up. Well, why are you looking at him? Or why are you looking at her? What? I ain't enough for you? You know, it could get to that. But if the relationship is secure, you can admire someone. And I think it's easier to express admiration for someone who there's not a snowball's chance in hell you're ever going to meet. I can admire Idris Elba till the cows come home. I ain't ever going to meet that man. Okay, so Frank ain't got to worry about Idris Elba. Now, if I were admiring the neighbor down the street, he might feel differently about that, would you?
More than likely.
Because?
You'd be jealous.
Yeah, but why would you be jealous?
Oh, he's more accessible.
Exactly. There's more likelihood that I could get involved with that guy, or that guy could come on to me than Idris Elba. I ain't never gonna meet him. So, but anyway, listen, if anybody out there know Idris, tell him to holler at a sister, okay?
Whatever.
So let me ask you this.
Listen, let him come on up in here.
And what?
Let him see. It's one thing for you to admire from afar.
Yes.
I ain't worried about him coming here to deal with all these grandkids and all that stuff. Please.
A house full of grandchildren, right? Okay, we talked about that. And Miss Ali said, I admire a married couple when they love and respect each other in public. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Because it can't just be behind closed doors. It's got to be in public as well. And that's why I know this is just a side note, I think it's important for a couple to present the united front in public. There have been times when
where you going?
When you and I might have been going somewhere, and in the car we're arguing and fussing.
Gosh.
Now see, when we get there, I can lay it all down. This is my boo. This is my baby. I love him. I love him. I love him. And I can get back in the car and argue all the way back home. Frank?
Yeah, I got a problem. I'm taking that into
He's taking it into the
party.
Especially
if I feel like what we were arguing about, I didn't get a satisfactory answer. So I still want to talk about it all the way into this venue, sitting down.
And I tell him,
it's like, look at you, straighten your face. People don't want to approach you. I don't care.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know, Mama used to always say, don't give the devil place. And that's one way you give the devil place, by not presenting a united front in public. I don't care what's going on in your relationship. Present a united front in public. You can argue back in the car. You can argue when you get back home, anywhere except in whatever that venue is. And I just want to get back to talking about jealousy. Some of the other things that can be a root cause of someone experiencing jealousy. And I'm talking more about unfounded jealousy. I'm talking about when there is a perceived threat to the relationship and not a real threat to the relationship. Because when there is a real threat to the relationship, then there is bound to be some real jealousy. I'm talking about when the threat is not real, but it is perceived. Sometimes there's an issue. The jealous person has fear of abandonment because they may think or feel or fear is another thing, that their partner may leave them for someone else that they perceive to be better, not that their partner perceives to be better. Because I want all of us, and I'm speaking to the sisters here now, to get to the place where we say, not only say, but we believe that our partner could never find anybody better than us. Can't find nobody. I know he can't find nobody better than me. I know he can't. Could he find somebody prettier? Yes. Could he find somebody thinner? Absolutely. But could he find anybody better than me as a woman, as a wife, as a mother? Who used to say? Whitney Houston said, hell to the no. That was Whitney used to say. And Valerie Mason Chase is saying that today. And I want all of us sisters to get to the point where we say that. Can you say that about yourself? That I would never be able to find anybody better than you?
No.
You
no,
can't.
No, you can't. You can't find someone better than me.
And you say that because
I know.
And you know why, Cookie Man.
I'm a good guy.
We are the good thing. That's right, Miss Ollie. The Bible, the good thing, because the Bible says the man who finds a wife finds a what, Miss Ollie? A good thing. Oh, okay. That's what she meant by that. I know that I am his good thing. And I'm not just his good thing. I'm his best thing. I'm his best thing. And I want all of us sisters to get to that point where we can say it. Hey, Angel. Oh, you love our shirts? Thank you. Where we can say it and we can mean it, that we are his good thing. And the more secure an individual feels in themselves, and the more secure the relationship is, the less likely there's going to be jealousy over a perceived threat. Okay. Again, a perceived threat, not a real threat. A real threat is something entirely different, because you have to have a whole different conversation when there is a real threat. Because a real threat would be if I see you over in the corner chatting up someone and I get jealous. To me, that's a real threat.
But why isn't that perceived? Because you don't know what I'm saying to the person. I'm just having a conversation. And well, maybe someone I know.
It depends on who it is.
And when I talk, I'm just talking about a random person saying hello. We're out in the, maybe it's someone I know and we haven't seen in a while. Why isn't that's still perceived? Because you're over here getting all jealous for something that's not real.
I don't know how I look at that, because it depends on who it is. Listen, especially for me and Frank, I can't speak to those who are in relatively new relationships, okay? Frank and I met in March of 1980. You do the math, that's 44 years. He ain't supposed to have no friends that I don't know about. No. Okay. I don't care what you say.
Well, see, maybe I shouldn't use the terminology friend.
Someone I don't know about.
Maybe I shouldn't use friend.
Okay.
A person that I've known in my past that you never met.
How?
Perfect example.
44 years?
Honey, perfect example. When we was at Mr. McCain's thing, someone came by. I recognized her face, someone I went to St. Greg's with, but you never met her. You got a chance to talk to her. So that's, and she gave,
I got a chance to talk to her.
We were talking, she gave you the number. I forget, and she had given me
some info. That
so
situation.
Going to people.
No. But that's just the thing. I did meet her, and she and I did have a conversation. I'm talking about.
You didn't know. Let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I said hello as she passed, but I could have been walking and stood over there talking to her, and you get upset and jealous for something you perceive because you ain't never met that person.
Okay, well then you're not handling it right. Because if you're over there having a conversation with someone that you are now seeing that you haven't seen in 35 or 40 years, hey, Val, come over here. I want you to meet Debbie. That's how you're supposed to handle that. I'm sorry. That's how you're supposed to handle it. Oh, hey, Debbie, how you doing? Because, see, when we met at your surrogate father's repast, when we met that young lady, and I told her to give me her number. You think I'm going to tell her to give my husband her number?
But see, I disagree.
I got her number.
I disagree.
And she and I kept in touch.
I disagree that I would need to call you. Now, when I come to sit down, I could say all of who that was and where I knew her from.
That I don't agree with that.
But maybe I don't want to call her over.
Because if you come back and sit down.
Yes.
By then, my neck is hot. Okay? My neck is hot. And now you have a whole lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
Okay. And that's fine.
But I'm not going to want to hear it at that point.
The problem would come in if I didn't want to or refuse to explain what was happening.
Okay. I still disagree with that.
Okay.
Because if I were anywhere, you and I were anywhere together, and I run into a guy, let's say I run into someone that I knew from high school.
Okay.
I went to high school in North Carolina.
Right.
Obviously, you're not going to know this person.
That's what I'm talking about.
I am going to say, babe, Lovey, Cookie Man, come here. I want you to meet Jimmy.
And you know what I'm going to say?
You're going to come over?
You think?
And you're going to meet Jimmy? This point,
I'm going to wave my hand at it. Go ahead. I'm not getting up to come meet Jimmy.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Jesus.
But when you come over there, I'm going to say,
deliver me from this lie. Because I know you, Frank. I've been with you 44 years. There's no way, especially if he fine. If he fine, I ain't going to have to call Frank over.
Nah, no, I was going to say now when you come back, I'm going to say who that MF you was talking to. Please.
Listen, I won't have to call you over if he fine. Okay?
Honey.
No, but just...
Okay. Go ahead. Sweet.
Even though we don't see eye to eye on that, just for the future, for future reference, if we're ever any place and you run into a female that you went to St. Gregory with or Madison, and I've never had an opportunity to meet her, and you're standing over somewhere talking to her, call a sister over, because that will alleviate any issues later. Now, that's my take on it. And I'm going to ask you all, what are your thoughts? Because the Bible says to avoid even the appearance of wrongdoing or evil or sin or whatever the phrase that is used. Mm-hmm. And it's there for a reason. I firmly believe in that. So I think that's the right thing to do. If you're out with your significant other and they run into someone they know, someone of the opposite sex or of the same sex, if you're a same-sex couple, they run into someone that you've never met, I think you should call your partner over and make the introduction. Y'all chime in. Let me hear what you all have to say about that.
I'm not saying...
I'm going to ask Dr. Danita if she's still
I'm not saying you can't do that, but if I'm halfway across the ballroom floor, coming out of the bathroom, and I see someone that I went to school with or something, and I spend a couple of minutes, hey, how you doing? Yeah, me and my wife are here, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but nice seeing you, and I move on. I'm not trying to bring that person through the maze of people to the table and all that. This, to me, it's not. Now, if you happen to see it, I'm gonna tell you about it, whether you saw it or not. Hey, Val, guess who I ran into?
Okay.
But please.
Well, I'm just telling you, on Sunday, May 5th at 7:48, if we ever face a situation like that, Lord, I am saying to you, call me over or bring her over to the table. Okay. But do not stand over there continuing to have a conversation. And then you come sit down and say, oh, yeah, by the way, that was blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. I'll see you when we get home. We're going to deal with this.
No problem.
Okay. Miss D says she's agreed with me. She thinks it triggers jealousy. Yeah, but what do y'all think? I don't know. That's my position on it. And I'm just letting you know, if that ever happens, that's how I would like for you to handle it.
Okay.
So I think we've established that jealousy.
Nicole saying?
Hold on. Let me put what Nicole said. Her experience has been if a man is happily married, he makes reference to his wife early on in the conversation. Boom.
And that's what I said.
There
I'm
you
sitting
go.
over here talking. Hey, me
Nicole
and my.
Is right.
But did you hear what I said? I'm sitting over there. Hey, Michelle, haven't seen you. So, oh yeah, me and my wife are here at the function.
But you didn't say that.
You didn't hear me. Of course, I'm gonna throw that out through the conversation. No.
Since we've been talking about this particular topic,
right? You didn't hear me say that. I said that me and my wife are here.
Okay, all right. I didn't hear that. Maybe my neck is hot. Listen, the heat in my neck affects my hearing. Just FYI. But I believe what Nicole says is true, because when a married man has a lengthy conversation and the wife never comes up, I think that's a problem.
Well, first of all, my conversation.
Miss Ollie said he should have invited you into the conversation within the conversation. Yeah. Okay. Jackie says you did say it. I'm sorry, baby. I wasn't hearing. Go ahead.
No, I was saying when she said invite you in the conversation. That's if we're all in close proximity. You're gonna come into the conversation anyway. I don't know.
Oh, you know I will.
You're gonna.
I will walk right up there because y'all heard me say a few minutes ago that I just walk up and start talking to people. I will walk up. I think we had a situation like that many years ago. We were out somewhere, and I can't remember exactly how this happened, but the woman was talking to you, and I walked up and I said, "Hi, I'm Valerie. I'm Frank's wife, and you are?" And she said, "Whoever she was."
Okay, and
I don't know. It was some skank sniffing down behind you.
Come on, please.
It was somebody sniffing down. Every time we go out somewhere, somebody trying to sniff down behind my husband.
She lies.
Listen, it's a good thing I am saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost because I don't be breaking windows no more.
Car windows, all kind of windows.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are just enjoying ourselves. I'm sorry, guys.
But you forget. But like I said, we know better. But you forget early on, we be walking where we live. Brothers come up talking to Val. Now I'm just standing there. All right, and see, I was younger there. I'm waiting because somebody about to get their ass whooped.
Yeah, but I introduced them.
No,
I did.
Honey,
don't remember.
You might have started to after I kept saying, "How you gonna have this motherfucker come up talking? You don't say who I am." That happened more than once before the bell rang off in your head.
I don't.
Oh, see, now you don't remember what I'm telling you. Ain't that some mess?
And hey, and if it did happen, we were in our early 20s then.
Yeah.
We didn't know. Listen, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. We really did not know anything at all about relationships or marriage when we first got married. We didn't know what we were doing. So Dee said, if your wife is far away from the conversation, how would she know you said me and my wife? Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Because when I come to the table, she gonna ask me about the conversation and did you tell her you had with your wife? Of course, baby.
Well, see, here's the thing. I should not have to ask you about it.
Right, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
My point is I would tell you, maybe that's what, okay. I would tell you all that I talked about. Sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just come back down and sit down. Even if you didn't see me over there, I would still come back and say, hey, listen, you know who I ran into while we were here? Someone I went to school. I ain't seen this person in 40 years. Male or female. And in this case, for the purpose of conversation, I ain't seen her since we graduated in 1972 from St. Gregory's. Blah, blah, blah. I would share the conversation.
I get it. So I think we have established that unfounded jealousy or if it's something that is perceived and not real, if it's a perceived threat, that could be detrimental to a relationship, that it's unhealthy.
It has the potential to be just as devastating, because how do you prove that it's just something being perceived?
Well, that's kind of hard because you can't prove a negative, because you can't prove that something is not happening. But if there is certain behaviors that can be construed in that way, then perhaps it might be wise to consider changing the behavior. Hypothetically, let's say, for example, who's that? One of them grandbabies?
Yeah, they're in the bathroom.
Let's say, for example, the behavior is, you're out together with your partner. You and your partner hang out. You go to clubs, bars, whatever. And what are you grinning at?
Nothing.
And
I'll say.
And one partner, typical behavior is to leave you sitting wherever you are and just, make rounds, so to speak, and gallivanting and talking to this one and this one and this one and this one. But there's one in particular that they spend more time with, standing over there having a conversation. Now you're talking, how can you disprove that there's nothing going on? If your partner says that makes them feel uncomfortable and perhaps a little jealous, then have a conversation about maybe modifying that particular behavior.
The next month we're out and that person there, instead of stopping at the table, I just, hey.
Right.
I ain't coming over there to say hi. You know why?
No, see, that person doesn't need to know why.
I just wanted to make it rhyme. That's all.
Yeah. That person doesn't need to know why.
But then you talk about changing behaviors.
Yeah.
Because something perceived can get someone upset if you don't change your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you have to speak on those perceptions from your part.
Right.
And I was laughing because there were certain things I would do when I would go out, when I was really hanging out. And even now, because I know those things can trigger, have a perception that maybe I'm about to do something, I change those behaviors. And one of them might have been a particular cologne I would wear.
Oh, I
won't
hate
wear that
cologne.
no more.
I hate it.
And this now, manscaping, I like to lift weights. And for me, the more hair I have on my chest, to me, it hides the development of the pecs. Mm-hmm. So I shave the chest from time to time. The wife see that. Oh, why are you shaving the chest? That perception of you're shaving your chest for other reasons other than my own self-gratification.
Right. So
I don't do that as often anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky. But that cologne thing, every time I smell it, I get mad. I called that his cheating cologne because he kept it in the car. He didn't even bring it in the house, y'all. He kept the cologne in the car.
I was smoking in the car. I just wanted to smell fresh.
Negro, please.
Oh, shit.
But I'm telling y'all, it is a testament to the power of God that we can sit here and laugh about this stuff now. I'm telling you, only God could get us to this point where we are now, but we can talk about stuff that we did and past indiscretions and triggers and all that kind of stuff, and we can actually laugh about it. So to God be the glory. That's all I can say. So what are some of the behaviors? What are some of the negative behaviors that the jealous person might engage in?
Destruction of property.
Destruction of property, such as, like what?
Clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of property. Anything valuable to that person.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That could be an example. And another one could be your partner's phone. We're talking about now. Okay. There's been no infidelity, okay. But because there is a perception of a threat, you're always in your partner's phone. You need to check their phone. You need to check their whereabouts. You need to have whatever those things are that you have on your partner's phone that can show where they are at all times. You might do something. You might do something like that. Or you might limit your partner's friendships. Now, that might be appropriate when there has been infidelity, but when there's been nothing like that, no betrayal, no breach of trust, and it's just a perceived threat, not a real threat, that could be an issue. But that's a whole nother conversation when it comes to friendships outside the relationship. So how do you deal with jealousy when it rears its ugly head?
I would go back to conversation. I would just, my mind got stuck on that when you said friendships, like you telling me because you perceive something you can't hang. I'm just talking about hanging out with some male friends. You can't hang out with those dudes anymore. Now, one would say, because you're my wife, I'm supposed to acquiesce and say, okay, you know what? I won't hang out with those guys anymore.
You mean if there's been no infidelity?
Right. But I can see myself feeling angry, because these are guys I like to hang out with. No, we need to talk about this.
Right.
You can't just arbitrarily tell me, no, you can't go. You can't go to the park and play ball with those guys, to the pool hall or wherever. It would be a problem.
I agree. It absolutely would be a problem. But again, you need to talk about it and find out where is this coming from? Why? What is underneath your partner feeling threatened by you going out hanging with the fellas? Is it because of something that has occurred in the relationship, or is it something that has occurred in your partner's previous relationship? Is it some sort of insecurity based on childhood, family of origin, any of those things? So, yeah, that's why you have to continuously engage in conversations to figure out where this is coming from. Because if it's just a perceived threat and not a real threat, then that could be a serious problem if your partner wants to limit your movements and your activities and hanging out with your friends. Because in a healthy relationship, each person has you're together as a couple, and then each individual has a life outside of their couple, because no one individual other than God can meet all of our needs. So we need to have access to friends, to family, colleagues, to go out with friends and enjoy ourselves without our partner being there. Just because you love each other and you're married and you got a life together, you don't have to be joined at the hip.
Right, I ain't dragging you around with me.
No, we are not meant to be Siamese twins. That is not healthy at all. So there needs to be the opportunity for doing that. And the person who experiences a lot of jealousy based on something that's just perceived and not real, maybe consider some counseling to see where all this is coming from. Because you just don't know. We have, and by we I mean human beings. Well, this is my perception. Okay, this is my belief. So many of us, we reach adulthood with so much stuff that we have not unpacked before we enter into a serious relationship. And then we bring all that stuff into the relationship with us, and it has the potential to cause the relationship to self-destruct. So talk to somebody about it. A counselor, a pastor, a trusted friend who will give you wise, objective, non-judgmental counsel. Yeah. Miss Ali said sometimes friends may give bad advice on married couples issues. Sometimes friends can do that, especially single friends. Not that a single person can't be wise, but I would be reluctant to talk to a single friend, someone who's never been married and not been in a committed relationship, about me and Frank's long-term relationship. I'm not so sure how much I would want to hear from those individuals. What do you say, Frank?
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree, because I have, over the years, have a trusted single male friend, and he'll give me his honest perspective.
You talking about?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about that. Not just Gary.
Lord have mercy.
and actually, when we would talk sometime, I say, "Wow, Gary, when did you become such a, so wise?" Because a real trusted friend, single, is going to really give it to you. Someone else might not be as comfortable shooting it straight and real.
Well, that he will do. He absolutely will do. He'll give it to you straight.
You don't have to agree. You might not even like it.
Yeah.
Someone else might equivocate, get soft on the information that they're giving you,
and just be the yes person. Gary will give it to you straight. I used to have a problem with him because sometimes you'd hang out. He was
it's my ride or die.
Your ride or die?
I never had a problem with your sister. She was your ride or die. So why you gotta have a problem with Gary?
Well,
next.
Anyway, Valerie said, I may have a friend who is very flirtatious, and your partner may feel like birds of a feather flock together, and they may not want you to hang out with that person. Okay, how would you address that, Frank?
That's him. Ain't got nothing to do with me. He's still my best friend.
No, I'm talking. No. We'll look at it from my perspective. Right. I got a friend, and she's a straight up thought.
Okay.
And I hang out with her. What would you say?
Again, that's her. I trust you. That you haven't shown me that behavior. Right. So you can hang out with her. She listen. That person, male or female, can't lead you any place that you don't decide to go, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
Now they might get you in some kind of trouble in terms because they act them and then a fight break out. Okay, and then you get your butt out of there. But no. No.
I agree, but I think that at some point, when one friend has joined with a partner, either by marriage or in a long-term committed relationship, eventually they may start to distance
Well,
themselves
yeah.
from that particular friend who's out thoughting. Is thoughting the
Not
word?
yeah, not necessarily because of their behavior. It's just life.
You
You're
don't
my
have
best
any as
friend.
much in common
You
anymore.
you are what you are, but
Yeah.
now I'm not hanging out as much because
Right.
I'm working more. I got kids at home. I got a wife at home. I got a
Right.
husband.
Right.
So it's just life that prevents us from hanging out as much. We might talk on the phone.
It could. I think life and also different
Of
circumstances.
course, all
She's
that.
single.
Yeah.
You know, she's got a different man every other week, and she's hanging out at the club and doing all that. And I don't do that anymore because I got my man at home.
Well, again, it's just
I'm-
life that did that, not because of
Well,
her.
no, but you're talking about life. I'm talking about an individual making a conscious decision not wanting to be with that person.
Okay.
Yes, bad company can influence you sometimes. There's a Bible verse that says that
Sure,
bad company corrupts good character or something to that effect. So yeah, you do have to be concerned about that. It doesn't mean that the person's not your friend anymore. It doesn't mean that you never spend time together anymore. But I think you naturally start to distance yourself when two people have been friends and circumstances in their lives change. Sometimes they just don't spend as much time together. Doesn't mean that the friendship is over.
No, just what I said. Circumstances in life change, so you're no longer hanging out.
Right. And
Every
based
other
on
week.
those changes, you're making a conscious decision not to do it. Not to hang with this person.
No, it's an unconscious decision because of my circumstance. I didn't say to myself, you know what? I'm not going to hang out with this person anymore. I didn't necessarily have to. You heard my need.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's just, it took its natural course.
Okay. So are you referring to anyone in particular, or you're just saying in general?
In general.
Just in general. Okay. All right. That's something else we don't necessarily see eye to eye on, and that's fine. I just want y'all to know.
Perfect example. Gary's been single.
My
best friend, right?
Right.
I didn't make a conscious decision. I need to stop hanging out with Gary. It's my circumstance changed that made it just naturally happen.
Yeah,
now, when we get a chance to hang out, we hang out.
Yeah, but you was doing a whole lot of hoeing with Gary.
All right, bro. But I still hang out with Gary.
You do still hang out with Gary. But see, Gary is different now.
Okay.
Because Gary has gone through his personal transformation. If Gary was still the same Gary that he was back then, it might be a different scenario.
He was whatever he was back then.
Yeah.
But I was the ringleader. So
I know, but yeah,
he's still
absolutely.
Single.
He's still
single, and he could be out there.
I'm not talking about him being involved with other women. I'm talking about other aspects of his life.
No, we were collaborative. We did what we did. We're not talking about people that we might have been seeing. We did the other stuff we did because that's what we did.
That's
and then life changed. Okay. I'm talking about myself. I'm not out there hanging out every weekend getting wasted out of my mind and all this stuff. I ain't got no time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. That's what Sweet Brown said. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, things change. Miss Ollie said her friends are always wanting her to drink, and she say, no, thank you. Single mind issues. Yeah. Well, that's true because a single person, especially because let me put it like this. To me, and again, this is just me talking, if you're not married, you're single. I don't care if you're in a relationship with somebody, you ain't married, you're single. You're shacking up with somebody, you ain't married, you're single. That's the way I look at it. I know nowadays people don't think that if they're living together and been together 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, they don't consider themselves to be single. But I consider it single. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, of course, because the depth, until you put a ring on it, who say that, Beyonce? Sign the paper, you are not, I'm going to just look at it this way. You're not legally married.
Not legally married.
Just like all the other terms of people's lives now. We've been living for 20 years, so you know what? You're my wife. Okay.
And some people do believe that. Some people do look at that their long-term partner as a
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
spouse. But anywho, what I was trying to say is when I say single, I mean someone who was unattached and out on the dating scene. What that person, the kinds of things they may want to do, depending on who they are, because they could be single and saved and not on that scene. They could be single and saved and perfectly okay for a married person to hang out with. In fact, they may want to hang out with their married friend, especially if their married friend's husband got some good-looking brothers for friends. They may want to hang out with their married friend. So it really depends. To me, it's more a question of lifestyle. What are the types of things that you enjoy doing versus what are the types of things that I enjoy doing and that we can potentially do together? My friend Pat, down in Florida. Pat's still single, and we still hang out. I still go down to visit her, and sometimes when she'll come back up to New York, I'll see her there, or while she's in New York, she'll come here to PA and spend a couple of nights here, and we still hang out. And she's single. My friend on here, Nicole is still single. Nicole and I, we would still hang out. We don't hang out as much as we used to, because first of all, Nicole got 5 kids. Nicole got 5 kids, and she's working, and she's in Jersey, and I'm in PA, and we don't hang out as much as we used to. But we absolutely do spend time together, and I consider her now and always my friend. Even if we never hang out again, she's still my friend. Oh, and Nicole said, yeah, the government says you're single on those forms. So anywho, I hope we covered something on jealousy that was beneficial for you all tonight. And again, I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Marriage Beyond the Breach. If you're watching on Facebook, you can follow on Facebook, Marriage Beyond the Breach. And also we are on Instagram, also as Marriage Beyond the Breach. And the website is what?
Marriage Beyond the Breach.
Marriage Beyond the Breach. And maybe next time I'm on. Oh, Ali said she got 4 beautiful grandchildren. We got 4 grandchildren also. I will share with you how that name came about of Marriage Beyond the Breach. So as always, I thank you guys who were here. Some of you are here regularly, and you have no idea how much I appreciate your support. And to Frank's point, life changed when you went back to school, retired, and had way more grands than me. Yep, you're right. You're right, Nicole. That's it. That's right. We did have a lot of changes. Retirement, graduate school, transitioning to counseling, starting Marriage Beyond the Breach. That's true. And for grandbabies, we got 2 of them now. Sanaya, you and Janae come here. Hurry up. We got 2 of our grandbabies here. 2 of the oldest ones. Here. Okay, there we are. He did it again, y'all.
No, I did it this time.
No, he did it. No,
I kicked the table.
He did it again. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
That is Sanaya. Say hi, Naya. And then that's Janae. Janae, come. Little Nene. Anyway, those are our 2 oldest grandchildren. Sanaya is 8. Janae is 5. Are you 5 already? Yeah, Janae's 5. Okay, we got 2 more grandbabies. We didn't get them today. But anywho, I love you guys. I appreciate you. We're not here next week because it's Mother's Day weekend. But the following week, I will be back. And we're going to talk about trauma and some of the treatments for trauma, specifically EMDR and another one called internal family system. So we're going to talk a lot about trauma. That's going to be in 2 weeks. So I love you guys. I will say good night. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Later. Peace out.